Hey everyone, Adrian Forte here, international culinary expert, chef, and food and beverage expert. And I'm super excited to be hosting the WUSC International Forum, Shaping Our Future and Reimagine a Better World. For the first time, WUSC has gone virtual. As many of you know, the pandemic, alongside climate change and global demonstrations on racism, injustices, and equality, has brought about some really tough conversations. Now, as many of us are experiencing these crises and conversations, we're not all experiencing them equally. We now have a once-in-a-generation opportunity to change the status quo and truly create a world that is more inclusive, equitable, and sustainable for our youth. How is the International Forum and food related? Well, sharing food is a social activity that celebrates diversity, inclusivity, and highlights different cultural backgrounds, all values that WUSC promotes. Today I'm going to be demonstrating a dish that is not only diverse and culturally rich, but it's also super delicious. Jamaican Rasta pasta. All right guys, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to want to get some fire. We're going to add our heavy cream to our pan, 35% whipping cream, and we're just going to let that come to a simmer. Cover that up. While we're waiting for our whipping cream to get hot, we're gonna cut up our peppers, right? So what makes Rasta pasta is a variety of different things. It's the peppers that represent the Rastafarian colors, the tricolor peppers, 3 different colors, red, yellow, and green, which is the color of the Rastafarian flag. So that's one element of a Rasta pasta, is the tricolor Rastafarian flag incorporated into the dish. So we're gonna start by just removing those tops, cleaning those off, remove the inside. So as you guys may have noticed that I'm currently not in Canada. I've actually been away for the last couple months in the island of Turks and Caicos working on my cookbook. But I just want to emphasize to stay home, stay safe, stay sanitized. So I'm just gonna slice these up. Clean that out. Get those seeds and stuff out. And we're just going to stack them on top of each other. And then slice them. So now we have our green. And we have our yellow. It's time for our red, and we'll have all the 3 colors of the Rastafarian flag. Just gonna remove those. Make sure we keep a nice clean station. That's how you avoid getting cut. Once again, remove the insides, all the seeds, all that white pit part. Flatten them, stack them, and slice them. Nice and easy. All right, so as you can see, our sauce is simmering. We're gonna add some garlic, red up confit. Confit just means it was simmered in some neutral oil. So it's a consistency of a paste. And then what makes this Rasta pasta is a little bit of jerk. So today I'm using jerk marinade. Usually I make my own, but for the purpose of the recipe, not everyone's gonna make their own. I'm just gonna show you guys what brand to get. So we just got some jerk from Grace. And then no cream sauce wouldn't be complete without a little bit of Parmesan Romano, right? So we're going to incorporate that cheese in, and we're going to slowly whisk it in until it dissolves into our cream sauce. So we're getting pretty close with all our elements. Ladle it in and just whisk it. Slowly take it. You don't want to add all the cheese one time. It's going to start to clump up. And you want your sauce to be nice, smooth, and viscous. So I'm just whisking it, and the cheese is melting. The heat from the sauce, or from the cream, is melting the cheese right away, but I'm adding it in stages. Just gonna keep whisking that, keep whisking that, keep whisking that. As we mix, it's gonna start to thicken up. Great thing about this is you don't have to add any other ingredients to thicken it up. Usually in French cuisine, you make a roux. We're not really making a roux, we're making a cream sauce. So this is reminiscent of an Alfredo. So as you can see, the cheese is melting, it's getting there. And we're gonna go from medium-high heat to low heat. So we're just gonna turn the heat down. We don't want it to burn, right? But it's getting nice and cheesy and creamy. So as our sauce is mixing and getting viscous, we have our other pan on that we have nice and hot. We're gonna add some of that garlic oil from our confit oil into the pan. And what we're gonna do is, once our pan's nice and hot, we're gonna start off with our peppers. So we're just keeping an eye on our sauce still. We're making sure that it's nice and viscous. It's not burning. It's smooth. There's no lumps in it. We're just working it, right? Anyways, guys, as you can see, our sauce is nice and viscous. The cheese is not sticking to the bottom. It's fully incorporated. I'm getting that nice, smoky Romano flavor that it gives off, that umami. No lumps in my sauce. I'm just whisking, whisking, whisking. And I've turned my heat down to low. And I'm whisking so the cheese doesn't stick to the bottom and burn, right? And at this stage, I can turn it off. It's good, right? So I'm gonna kill the heat on that. And then we're gonna shift over to our other pan that's nice and hot now with that garlic oil. And we're gonna start to add our peppers. So Rasta pasta was invented by Lorraine Washington of Jamaica. Lorraine Washington spent most of her time as a flight attendant before she changed careers and become a chef, which is what inspired her to create this dish. She traveled the world as a flight attendant, go to Italy, go to Spain, France, different countries, and was extremely inspired to pursue the culinary. So it just shows you how experiencing different cultures and diversity can inspire us. So I'm just gonna slice the chicken, julienne, the same way I did the peppers, so there's uniformity, right? And then I'm just gonna add it to my pan. There we go. So the story behind Rasta pasta is that once Lorraine Washington had moved back to Jamaica, she was a chef, opening her restaurant called Paradise Yard. Right? She was opening a restaurant, Paradise Yard, and during that time, she had some construction workers that were working with her, and she was experimenting with some dishes. She had made some fettuccine Alfredo, and she didn't have any proteins to add to the dish, so she added ackee. And as a result of that, the construction workers said, "This is Rasta pasta." So she then started incorporating different ingredients. So the fettuccine represented the long, luscious locks of the Rasta, and the tricolor peppers represented the Rastafarian flag. And of course, the jerk chicken came from further ideation. So we're just gonna mix that in. Oh my God, look at that. Beautiful colors, guys. Beautiful colors. Oh, geez. Great flavors. Nice spice. Smokiness from the chicken. And now, you know, cooking is all about, you know, balancing everything. So balancing your salt, balancing your spice, balancing your acid. So we got the spice in here. We have the sweetness from the peppers. a little bit of acidity from the jerk. So we need to add some salt or some sodium by way of our cream sauce. So we're just gonna slowly ladle that in. As you can see, no burns in the pot. Everything's nice and viscous. It's not sticking anymore. The cheese is fully incorporated. And we're gonna turn our fire up and just let that simmer. Everything will be nice and incorporated. You know, if you really want to take this recipe one more step, you could use coconut milk. If you really, really wanted this to be, you know, like super Caribbean or super Jamaican. But I decided, you know what, I didn't want it to lose its Italian influence, so we stuck with the heavy cream. So let's gonna let that come to a simmer. All right, guys, so it's simmered, it's fully incorporated. You could, if only you guys could smell this, well, you're probably smelling it from your end. And, you know, now it's time to plate. So I'm gonna kill the heat on this. And at this point, guys, you've seen my recipe. Now I'm challenging you guys to express yourself and your culinary identity by jumping in the kitchen and creating something super exciting, super fun, super fresh, like this Rasta pasta. And make sure you use hashtag WUSC Forum and hashtag WUSC Forum Fun when doing so on all social media platforms. So we're just gonna ladle that down like that. I'm gonna add a little bit more because I like a nice big portion. Look at that sauce, oh my gosh. I'm gonna put some chicken on top. Nice even portions. Holy, there we go. I'm gonna add more chicken because I like a lot of jerk chicken on mine. And of course, a good chef always keeps his plate clean, so I'm gonna give that a little bit of wipe. Nice and clean. Clean that up. And then of course, no Rasta pasta will be complete, or pasta will be complete without a little bit more cheese. So we're just gonna grate some cheese on there. Keep grating that cheese on. And there you have it, guys. Jamaican Rasta pasta. All right, guys, so it's your turn to be creative. I want to see your culinary identity on a plate. Get into the kitchen, get cooking. And remember, to all of our forum participants, every activity that you participate in earns you points towards some amazing prizes. So happy cooking.